where to study, where to find info, all of this after the intro. Hey guys, today we are talking about personality types theory, but we are addressing a different topic that on the internet, in my opinion, it is not really well covered. Today we are talking about where and how to study for learning as much as you can about this interesting topic. First off, I would start from the book where everything originated. It is Psychological Types by Carl Gustav Jung. This is the book where Jung himself described the 8 cognitive functions associated with 8 different types. Here you can see how, nowadays, the most common scheme is comprehensive of 16 types and not 8. This is because he gave huge importance to the dominant function, so that, indeed, in his mind, it was sufficient to distinguish between 8 types. Next, I would go for Gifts Differing by Isabel Briggs Myers, from which the actual MBTI, Myers-Briggs Types Indicator, originated. This book is quite exhaustive, and it brings some examples useful for gaining a better understanding. It is not very complicated, in my opinion, and quite important for this theory. Another book that I read in the past was Personality Type by Lenore Thomson. This is a good book if you want to study just one source, since it introduces the general model and then explains from the basics up to the actual types, explaining each function in depth. Then I gave a try to the famous Please Understand Me by David Kersey. He uses also the temperaments to catalog types, which he then describes quite in depth. To conclude, he dedicates a paragraph to mating, parenting, and leading compatibility, although I wouldn't take this part too literally, since some things do not seem to get along very well with each other. The last book I suggest is the 16 Personality Types by Dr. Drenth, in which he introduces the model and explains how it is built. He also states something important, which is how the actual functions develop inside a person during the course of his life. He then analyzes each type, going pretty in-depth. A critique I have for this book is that INFJs and INTJs almost take up half the book, and the other half is dedicated to the other 14 types. That can be good if you are one of these 2 types, but may disappoint you if you are one of the other 14. You have been warned. Last but not least, I would love to suggest some great YouTube channels, which may be very useful for learning a bit day by day. First is C.S. Joseph, link in the video description. Although he has a lot of content, I would suggest just season 1, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 16. Okay, I went just like a rapper, but I'll leave you the link in the video description. In those seasons, he basically describes function alone and then types. First alone again and then compared to one another. It is not as professional as he is now, but I think those were great videos. It is surely worth watching. Then I highly suggest you follow Chris from the channel AzurePsych. He is a bit more psychology focused in general, but you can find great videos. He is also an official MBTI practitioner, so go learn something. Last, and I'm very sad to say so, I watched a lot of videos from the channel and TSupport, but now they took off all their content. This is very sad because they used to have some of the best content out there. I hope they will upload it back one day. Okay, this was maybe a bit of a longer video compared to the usual ones I record, but actually this is all good material to study and review. I know it is a lot, but it is worth it. Just be aware that none of these books will teach you how to actually type a person, but rather they will teach you theory. To know how I type, go watch my previous video about that. But please, be aware that everyone should develop his own method according to his type and his personal skills and experience. Okay, I think this is it for today. I hope you liked this video and see you next time.